The motor on this, even though it's 3S, is stupid powerful. Hey guys, look what I got. That's right, I got the FMS 2300mm Fox V2. In this video, we're going to unbox it, we're going to take a look at all the parts and pieces, and then at the end, we're going to wrap things up with our pros and cons. Here's a look inside the box, how it's packaged. Looks great to me. Here we go. Look at this, guys. These are all the parts and pieces that come inside the box. Got a carbon fiber rod, our parts, our fuselage. Got a cool looking pilot in there, which is nice. Look at that, guys. The decals look nice. They're not overwhelming and just crazy, which I think is a good thing. And they don't really matter that much on a glider. This thing's going to be flying up nice and high, gliding around. And if you look at the parts bag, it looks like there's some assembly required. So I'm going to get into that next, and with any luck, when I come back, I'll be able to give you an assembly report and possibly some tips. All right, you guys, I have an update for you, and the update is the motor on this, even though it's 3S, is stupid powerful. So what I did is I got everything working, all the control surfaces, radio set up, everything, all good in the hood. And then I gave it a throttle test, which I will do for you on camera here shortly. And it created so much thrust coming off that prop, it sucked the owner's manual up into the line of fire and just shredded it. Just shredded it. All right, guys, I'm going to regroup. We're going to reset up, and we're going to do a more formal portion of the rest of the video. The only thing of real note during the assembly, other than, you know, your basics where you want to work in your foam hinges, things like that, your standard best practices, I've got this thing on the left side, and I had it on the right side before, and of course you can see that that tore up the foam a little bit. It's merely cosmetic and it's not going to be very visible at all, so no big deal. But I'm pretty sure you want to avoid doing that, so I'm letting you know right now. The only other item of note for assembly is these two screws right here. Those holes on either side of the wing, you want to loosen those up. That way you can slide your carbon fiber stick in there, your wing spar, if you will, and then you tighten them up at the field after you slide that stuff on. And that's how you keep the wing secure and in place. Here we are, guys. This is full throws on the aileron as well as the elevator. Now let's do a little rudder. And now let's activate some flaps.
Flight mode 2. Flight mode 3.
I'm not sure that's the best angle to show the flaps, but I've got some decent throw set up, which is awesome. I am so excited for this plane, you guys. This is a beast. Before we power things up, I wanted to get one last look at the control surfaces moving. The flaps in particular. Of course, the flaps have FMSmodel.com. I got this from Hobbyzone.com, so check the links in the description, guys. Speaking of the description, I will have, and I always have the settings. If I don't, yell at me in the comments, please. For what I do for the actual maiden flight, I go back and update the unboxing and make sure that you guys have the best possible information for the maximum success with your maiden flight. When we come back, I'm going to power this thing up. We are going to power this thing up now, guys. That's half throttle right now. So that was about 2/3, and that's when everything got shredded to pieces. Coming up next, we're going to break it down with our pros and cons. We're going to wrap things up with our pros and cons. As far as the pros goes, This is a huge glider with plenty of 3S power, as you can tell with the paper shrapnel all over the place. It's a 5-channel plane. It's got flaps, it's got rudder, it's got ailerons, it's got elevator. That is awesome. It looks great. I love the flames coming up the side. It's a high performance glider, so that is awesome. The battery bay has a perfect spot for my batteries. I've got a ton of 1550 batteries that I fly in my Arrows 50mm EDF jets, and they fit great in that battery bay spot, and it CGs pretty well too. And it's got a range on the CG which is phenomenal. Most gliders are pretty good as far as that goes, and I think this will be the same regardless. I'm excited to fly this thing. As far as the cons go, the only real con, and I'm just kind of being nitpicky here, is having to install the servo control horns, having to install the servo linkages. The only thing that did is just take a little bit longer than it would have otherwise, and it's not that big of a deal considering the cost, the price of this plane right now. And if you're watching this close to the time that I upload this video, there's a phenomenal sale going on. I'll have all the information in the description of the video, so check that out. With all that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, share with a friend, and GBLynden out.